Hello, and welcome. I am Michelle Barr. I am a spiritual business coach and spiritual business expert, and the founder and creator of Spiritual Coach School. I have had my spiritual business for 14 years now. I have not had to have another job since 2006. And I want to talk to you during this time about spiritual coaching and how it has been the most effective tool over the 14 years to build and grow my business, so much so that it became the umbrella for my entire business. I have been dedicating today is day 2, 12 days of spiritual coaching, just to talk to you all about the impact it can have and to have you consider if spiritual coaching is the missing piece in you trying to get out in the world, answering your calling and building your own spiritual business. You come into this, you have all these gifts. Just like myself, people who come into my world didn't necessarily start out saying, I want to start a business. Let's see. Am I going to have a franchise? Am I going to sell widgets? Am I going to sell services? What should I sell so that I can have a business? We come in with these gifts. We are wired and designed to help people, to heal, to contribute from our very soul. And then we get stuck when we marry these 5D visions and nudges and callings with our 3D world, where we are meant to translate our soul purpose into something we can do that takes care of us while we take care of everyone else. And as healers and helpers in the world, we don't always do a great job of that. That is my story that I share with you all now and have over the past decade. And it's the story I see often when people come to me. Either in general, overall, they've been stumbling around trying to do their work in the world and not figuring out how to do it in a way that's profitable and sustainable, or they take a job they either don't love or that's killing them, eating up their time and energy. And people like us, time and energy are super valued and super important. Hello, it's so good to see you. Thank you for coming in. And so we're trying to do this thing on nights and weekends that's our soul's work. Not able to believe that Spirit wants us to have an amazing life while we're doing our most important work in the world. Other times people find success in other areas and their gifts get buried and their original calling gets buried as they're finding their way, and they've learned how to make money, but now they don't know how to move into their calling and they're afraid to let go of the success they've had. It all ends up in a lot of soul sucking and soul crushing and not the kind of life that we crave to live. I value freedom above all else, and I value financial freedom. I had years of financial disaster. I was the stereotypical broke healer. And I have all this to share with you. And yet, once I got right with that and I learned how to do this thing, I've been able to be the contribution that I'm here to be and get paid well for it and live my spiritual journey. Financial freedom is great. And I want to put something to you all. Consider this. Financial freedom is not how much money you have in the bank, not how much money you have in investments, 401k, not how much money you have in savings or in your checking account. Financial freedom at its highest level of desirability is knowing how to create all the money you want and need when you want and need it. And that is exactly what I have learned how to do, using my greatest gifts. Not just in any arena, but using my greatest gifts. Thank you for the thumbs up and the love, definitely. One of the things I see coming up a lot is people want to get on a call with me and they're crying and they're shaken to the core and they're discouraged and they're upset. And one of the things I hear is, I am afraid no one will want what I have to offer. And some of them have evidence of this. I got out there before, I tried it, I did it, I spent a lot of money, I invested, all of these stories. I'm here to tell you, after 14 years, my own journey, and serving hundreds of clients personally and impacting thousands, not being without my own coach since 2009 and not having to have a job since 2006. And now I have not just the financial freedom, but I have the freedom to live the spiritual journey of my dreams, which is what I value the most. And I get to do my work, not just what I can do, but what I'm made to do every day of my life. So my life and my business and my spiritual journey have become completely integrated into one life, one journey, me, my soul, and spirit. And all the people I've already soul contracted with to come into my world and interact with in this way. I want you to get this. It's not that what you have doesn't have value. But if this happens to be one of your limiting beliefs, as it was for me, I came in and I learned it first. You will keep recreating the evidence to support this. Or you'll go out in the world and you won't get it right, and you'll keep recreating the evidence to support this. I have a lot of struggling practitioners, that's what I call them, who've been giving it a go. And you may or may not believe, but it's amazing how many of them will come to me and say, I've been doing this 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. And I haven't had good results, and I've been struggling, and I have to keep this job, or I've created financial disaster, which was my story for a long time too. I can't figure this out. And these old limiting beliefs kick up, because a lot of times we weren't like everyone else. So we came into a world where the people around us and our own families or our church, our communities, our friend groups, our culture, everyone was giving us messages to some degree of what you have is not valuable. But we were trying to offer what we had in the wrong places. Having this limiting belief at my core, I am afraid no one will want what I have to offer, and then replaying it over and over, is because I went right from my family into trying to go into workplaces and repeat this pattern. And then I went into church and repeat this pattern. Here's what I have. Here's what I have to give and to offer, and nobody wants what I have. Until the day when Spirit said to me, stop it. You're recreating a pattern, and you're going to these places that energetically match your issues and your limiting beliefs. What if you went out and intentionally and consciously spoke to and found the people that you already have soul contracts with and who already want what you have? In fact, this is spiritual and universal law. If I have a desire in me to do this thing, people out there in the world already have a desire to receive it from me. I really want you to get this. And when I finally did, I turned away from the church. I turned away from convincing my family. And Spirit led me to go into my community and open a local healing and wellness center And the women came. They found me. Yes, thank you. Love it. The women came and found me, and they poured in. And I just celebrated my 14th anniversary with that business from December of 2007. And I never looked back, and they're out there. Here's what's really going on when you're playing out. I'm afraid no one wants or no one will buy what I have to offer. It's really one, you're not showing up as you. You're hiding behind modalities. You're hiding behind processes. Thank you so much. Yes, it is my anniversary of that business, of my Hope House Healing and Wellness Center. It's been an amazing ride. You're not showing up. You're hiding. You're not owning your expertise. You're not being the expert. You're not embodying it. There's a lot of inner game stuff going on. Your messaging isn't clear. You have nothing to offer. Let me say to you right now, if you go out there and tentatively and shyly and playing it safe, put yourself out there and then you get upset because no one wants what you are offering, what you have to offer, you are building a non-buying audience, and it'd be better if you did nothing than to build a non-buying audience. Thank you for all the thumbs up and the love. This is super important. You're not leading with a clear message. You're not showing up as the expert. You're not owning your expertise. You're not embodying it. You're not making a clear offer. You're not expecting people to step up and invest in themselves through you. You're not asking for the sale at a very basic level. And then that brings up so much for helpers and healers. And I can only say this like that because I was one of them. The first time I actually had to attach an offer to what I was doing on social media because I realized what I was doing wasn't working. Oh yeah, people love my quotes, and I was putting a lot of people's other quotes out there, not even my own, until my coach said, stop it. You're not being the expert. You're not building a buying audience. I want you to get this. You're not making offers for people to buy. When I teach some of my spiritual coaches how to make their offer a real offer with a clear message and ask for the sale, they make that big sale in less than 24 hours, in less than 72, in less than a week, in less than a month, over and over and over again. What I teach you works. This model works. You're not packaging, pricing, and promoting it. You don't have a clear brand. You don't have a personality brand, a clear brand that is you and who you are. You're not showing up. You're not making the decision, and you're not taking aligned action. You're waiting for something outside to happen, and it can't because it has to match in response to the vibration inside of you. When I had to make that first offer that was actually tied to my message, I felt like I was going to throw up. I thought, if I have to say this price, I'm going to throw up. The good news, the really good news, all of this can be fixed. I've been doing this 14 years. I've been doing it under the spiritual coaching model for a decade. It works. It works all the time. It works every time. My clients, a lot of them are in the intuitive and healing arts. A lot of them are psychics, mediums, and healers, but not all. And you don't have to be. There are a lot of attributes that bring you to the table as a spiritual coach. And when I teach this to you, the light bulbs go off and it changes everything. So much so that, like I said a few minutes ago, it became one piece to the central piece to every one of my clients has to understand and implement this piece to now I'm reframing and refocusing my entire business from the past 2 years and have built my spiritual coach school to teach this. Everything else can come under it. It lasts forever. Once you build it, you will never have to build it again. Once you understand it, it works forever. All of these things can be fixed. These are limiting beliefs that we get stuck in them, and then we don't know how to get out there and make this work. One reason that I have had so much success with this, it was all spirit-led. Once you know me, if you're already in my world and you know me, I follow spirit impeccably, no matter what spirit says, no matter what spirit tells me to do or pay attention to, no matter where spirit tells me to travel to and show up or move. It's just who I am, and it's what I do. And because of that, I can move quickly and get what I need and bring it back to you. So here I was in the healing and intuitive world, and all the models that were available to me were amazing healers and transformational agents. But they were struggling, and their lives were a mess, and their money was a mess, and their energy and their relationships, and it was broken. And I remember going to some of my friends saying, I think I'm going crazy. If me doing this in the world and being this means I have to live like that, I am out. And Spirit was like, oh, no way. We finally got you here. You're not out. Look over here. Look over here. Look over here. And I looked, and I found the coaching world a couple of years in, because the first 18 months of my business, people found me and they loved it, but I created absolute financial disaster for myself and my family, and I had to close the doors, but I didn't give up and I didn't stop. And what I found in the coaching world was amazing. And I went there and I hired those big coaches and I applied the coaching and I tested it. I test everything before I bring it to you. And I brought back the coaching models to marry and merge them with the intuitive and healing arts. And voila, the magic container was born, which is what I teach. And my business finally hit $50,000 a year. For the first time in my life, I had never made $50,000 in my business or in my life, in my career, anywhere. Then I crossed the six-figure mark, and it has been growing and evolving steadily since then. This works. There are limiting beliefs behind. I'm afraid no one will want what I have to offer. And they get locked in, and then you recreate the evidence to support this belief. When really, the way we are wired and designed is getting in the way of the things you need to make this work. I also understand that, straddling both of these worlds and bringing them together in a very unique way. The other reason my approach is so unique is there are people who are training in the healing arts and the intuitive arts as mediums, as psychics, in all different modalities with all different mentors, and they're getting to practice and master their craft. And they sign up for year-long mentorships, and they do this, and they do this, and they do this. And when they finally feel ready, like I am this, they fall flat because they have not been prepared for the spiritual business of it, which is a very 3D thing. It's money. It's exchanges of money as energy. It's people buying, which happens in their primal brain. Then there are the people that they get out there to build their business or to even be this, to get on the platform, to speak, to write their book, and all their stuff comes up. And in the coaching world, there are a lot of very solid coaches who do business and strategy that don't want to touch that deep personal crap, as I call it, your stuff coming up with a 10-foot pole. They used to tell me, I don't want to mess with that. Well, I do. I'm equipped to, and I love it. I'm a former therapist. I'm a transformational spiritual coaching specialist. I have a lot to bring to the table in that area. I worked in crisis and trauma, generational dysfunction, and I'm an energy medicine healer and a psychic and a medium and a coach. Then there's the business building and growing piece of it. And some people don't want to touch that. So what do? I bring all three to the table. I bring the two worlds together. I bring practice and master your craft. Do the work to become who you are, to get the results, to be this person you're called to be and get paid well for it. The personal and spiritual growth and development. And I do the business growth, business building, business evolution, which is also your evolution. And I take all your gifts, skills, and abilities, everything you bring to the table, and I teach you how to put them into this personality branded business and this spiritual coaching model. I do that through private coaching, and I do that through my spiritual coach school. I'm going to be talking to you about different pieces of this over the next 12 days. You can go to hashtag 12 days of spiritual coaching to catch all the pieces that I'm putting out there, the Facebook Lives, the videos, and the posts. And if you want to know more right this minute about my work, or you want a button to push so that we can get on a phone call together and talk about this, go to bethecontribution.com. Hello, it's great to see you. Thank you for the love. Bethecontribution.com. I have trained and certified spiritual coaches. I have brought together all the way back from I had spiritual coach school in 2013. And then a few years later, I upgraded that to unlimited profits for intuitive women. I'm going to go back because I said the wrong thing. In 2013, I rolled out spiritual business school because people said, how are you a healer and intuitive and you've made money and you don't have to have another job and you're living your spiritual journey and you're able to do this? So I created spiritual business school. How have you gotten right with your money? A few years later, I upgraded it because I had learned even more and I had grown even more. And I created unlimited profits for intuitive women. And then last year, I upgraded it once again because now I have a profitable, sustainable, multi-six-figure business I love and a lifestyle and a spiritual journey I love living. And I created the Magic Container Spiritual Business Building Program and the Become a Spiritual Coach, because by now I saw how important that piece was. And I took a group of 13 people through this, where you have to learn to build the business and grow the business, but you also have to learn the spiritual coach model and what it means to become a spiritual coach. And I have a decade's worth of materials where I also throw in Drop Your Money Story to Fund the Life of Your Dreams, all the energetics, all the intuition, all the development, all of the mindset and money mindset. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love this, as you can tell, and I'm so glad you do too. And I took a decade of this work and I have put it into my spiritual coach school so that I can help even more of you. I have been maxed out, especially since 2020, but for quite a few years now. I do take private clients, a few at a time, and I work with them for 90 days or more. And then I have my spiritual coach school. bethecontribution.com. If you want to talk to me more, there's a button you can push, or if you want to find out more. And then stay tuned. Use the hashtag 12 days of spiritual coaching. I'm sharing with you, what is a spiritual coach? What does that mean? Bottom line in the model I teach you is it's the best of the coaching world brought into a healing world where people with amazing gifts were literally not able to take care of themselves while they took care of everyone else. And I merged and married these together to teach you how to build and grow the business, how to practice and master your craft. Do you know one of the biggest mistakes people make is they stay too long and practice and master their craft as its own thing. But remember, it's only one of the legs of a three-legged stool for me. You can be doing both, and people stay over here too long. I have a whole way where you continue to practice and master your craft while also stepping out, being the expert, making money and having clients. And people don't know, and so they don't do it. Again, you all, a lot of you are spending way too much time, energy, and resources trying to figure things out, trying to copy other people without understanding the whole systemic, well-oiled machine, and you are building non-buying audiences. The minute you begin building a non-buying audience, copying what you're seeing online, it will take you under. I promise you, let me save you from this if nothing else. I did it way too long. I see too many people doing it. You want to understand how this all fits together. For more right now, I encourage and urge you to just take a minute, go take a look, bethecontribution.com. Tap the button if you want to talk to me through direct messenger, or you can direct message me right off Facebook. We can email or we can get on a phone call. I want to teach these things to you. I want to help you with this. If you're really interested, you're looking for a private coach, yes, I offer a complimentary consultation and I can talk to you about that, and my spiritual coach school, which brings the best of the decade. It is how I live the life I live, have the business I have the spiritual journey of my dreams, and continue to grow and evolve. And it is what I want for every healer and intuitive, every healer and helper. Spiritual coaches are so valuable on the planet. You all are needed now more than ever. You're being woken up and called out more than ever. I am the premier coach for spirit workers for a reason. I claim it. I own it. I have been a psychic medium and healer and therapist and hospital chaplain and transformational spiritual coach specialist for years. And I've been helping those very same people. So if that's you, if you're stuck in this loop right now, or your greatest fear is, I am afraid nobody wants what I am offering, or nobody wants what I have to offer, I can help you have a breakthrough around that. And I can show you what you've got going on that is building and supporting the evidence and creating evidence for that belief. And it's simply not true. And some of the things that'll knock that out for good are a clear message, a clear offer, the packaging, pricing, and promoting a clear brand above all else, your personality brand, owning your expertise, embodiment of who you are and what you are about and what you're here for, the inner game. And as I said, this can all be fixed. Move with me over these next 12 days. Move with me into 2022. See what I have for you. Don't hesitate anymore. Don't be stuck in these stories. Remember, it is not simply what I have doesn't have value. That is a common theme that shows up to trigger you into your value. And you're simply creating evidence to support this limiting belief. What you have has value. There's one more money mindset shift I want you to get right now. This was a huge one for me. The money in your bank account does not determine your value. You maybe have heard some version of this and then you're getting it wrong or internalizing it, and it's hurtful and it's confusing and it's frustrating and it's scary and it's enraging. You are a precious divine spark of spirit. What your bank account is reflecting to you is how much of the value you came to planet Earth with that you are putting out into the world for the people that are already desiring it, looking for it, asking for it from you, and have soul contracts because they are your people. That's what it means. And once I got this, my bank account was able to grow and grow and grow. Multiple bank accounts, all kinds of bank accounts, and money coming in from all kinds of sources. Because I was sitting here with value inside of me that I came to Earth with, that I'm not putting out in the world. And once I did, it changed that. It is not that your bank account is reflecting your value. Your bank account is reflecting the percentage of the value you came to Earth to put out there to the people you are soul contracted with to live your divine assignment and your divine purpose, to receive exchanges of money and energy from source through people of all kinds. That's what it's about. BeTheContribution.com. Press the button so we can talk. Be sure to comment below if you have questions you want answered over these 12 days of spiritual coaching. Tune in, hit the hashtag so you can catch yesterday's, so you can catch the next 10 days after today. Thank you so much for being here with me, for shouting out, for sending thumbs up and hearts. BeTheContribution.com. It's time. It's time for you, and I am here to help you. I'm putting so many things on the ground and aside for this spiritual coach school for you for 2022. It's that important. It went from here to here to here to here to here. I'm Michelle Barr, BeTheContribution.com. I can't wait to come back tomorrow and talk about this some more. You take care. Spend some time reflecting. Soak in what I am putting out there. Let me pour into you. Receive it and let it land. And then come join me in Spiritual Coach School in 2022. Thank you so much.